life. I think I need more life. I need to get a life. So Drake just released his new project playlist, which is an actual album if you ask me. I don't know why he keeps calling them mixtapes and fucking playlists. And also I always find it weird that he calls them mixtapes or playlists or whatever, and then he sells them, which I always find very weird. Since a mixtape is supposed to be free and a playlist, I don't know what the fuck that is. But okay, whatever it is, whatever. I think the reason he does it is so that it doesn't affect his legacy or career or whatever. So if he drops it and it's not coherent and critics are shitting on it, he's just gonna be like, oh, it's a mixtape, it's a playlist, whatever. I think that's why, but really? You're selling it? Take a risk. Let's review it. It has 22 tracks, which is a lot more than I expected. In my opinion, it's kind of too much, but the songs on here, they're very different from each other. There's a couple of rhythm songs, the Jamaican influence, the Jamaican Drake, Drizzy Marley, whatever, and lots of rapping on here, which is something anybody will notice. There wasn't a lot of rapping on his last album, Views. Anyways, back on track. These songs are better, in my opinion. They're better than the songs on Views. Of course, there's a couple of features from the UK artists, such as there's Gigs. Gigs has 2 features on here. Yeah, he has his own song. There's one song which is only him rapping. There's no Drake. Yeah, that's another thing I found weird about this project. There's some songs where it's supposed to be Drake with another artist, but then it's the other artist that is singing or rapping or doing whatever on the track, and Drake doesn't do nothing, or when he does, he's not really doing anything, in my opinion. On Passion Fruit, he's singing, kind of singing, rapping, / rapping. There's a couple good songs, like the one with 4422 with Sampha, which is, in my opinion, the best song on this thing. Check out Sampha's project, which is called Process. In my opinion, it's the best album of 2017 this far. I don't know, maybe somebody's gonna drop another project that's gonna top it, but it set the standard for this year. There's also songs like Skepta's Interlude, which is just Skepta rapping too. Another song that surprised me was Portland with Quavo and Travis Scott. Anything with Quavo and Travis Scott is gonna be lit. Then add on Drake. This shit is lit as fuck. Sacrifices with 2 Chainz and Young Thug. It hasn't hit me yet. But the other song with Young Thug, Young Thug has 2 features on the whole project. And the other feature is on the before last song on the project, which is called Ice Melts. That song is dope. It has like this trap, sort of Hotline Bling vibe to it, and kind of Caribbean vibe to it. It's really mixed. And Young Thug is he's still doing Young Thug, you know, the auto-tune and shit, and singing and weird vocal inflections and shit. But it's cool. I fucks with it. The track Lose You, I thought it was interesting how Drake is still dissing Meek Mill. Like he's throwing subliminal shots at him, and it was interesting, very entertaining. Of course, there's some moments on here where Drake kind of gets personal and he's like explaining where he's in his life at the moment. Like on the first song, Free Smoke, which is a dope ass track where he's like throwing bars everywhere. Then again, he disses Meek Mill near the end. And the thing about Drake rapping on this playlist, there's no corny bars. If like me you hated that on his last project, you're gonna be relieved, because on this project there's no fucking corny bars. Everything is straight up. I think he got a new writer or anything, or he stepped his game up, but it was a good thing. Fake Love, this was dropped well before, in October. Yeah, he dropped it in October on his birthday. Dope track if you ask me. And then there's Since Way Back with Party Next Door. This shit is amazing. It's got that Party Next Door vibe to it, you know, the very dark, eerie, very heavily trap influenced R&B. He's talking about this relationship with a girl, blah 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 blah. I like the production, and I like the writing on this was very good. As always, Party Next Door, I think he's one of the dopest producers / writers. He's not a good singer, but whatever. The track, all in all, as a whole, it works and it's very dope. I appreciate that. And there's Glow with Kanye West. I don't know if this one was done when Drake and Kanye were cool, or if it was done after, but in the recent interview with Drake, he said he kind of said, he didn't say it directly, but he was like, I don't fuck with that nigga for the moment. So I think they did it before, they made the song before, you know, when he fell out with Kanye because he said something about him on his Saint Pablo tour when he was dissing everybody. So, but I thought it was a dope track. You know, Kanye West is still finding new ways to make them rhymes, you know, new flows. And it was interesting how Drake is kind of singing and Kanye is rapping, turning flows everywhere, and he's singing too. And that was very very dope to see. And there are some other tracks that I didn't really give a fuck about, you know, like Blame and Madiba Rhythm. They were interesting, but I like the production. The lyrics not so much, was kind of bland and uninteresting. It didn't have layers to it, so I didn't fuck with it that much. But Gaila Kester, I don't know how to pronounce that, was kind of interesting, but it's one of those songs that don't stick to me. Another good song I found was Nothing's Into Somethings. He kind of does this, like this story with a girl, and then how she keeps turning nothings into somethings. You kind of get it, right? It's interesting, and the track was sort of smart in my opinion. All in all, I say this is far better than Views in my opinion, because Views, like if you ask me right now which songs from Views I liked or I still remember, there's not that much. Even if the project was nearly the same length as this one, I think Views had like 18 or no, I think it had 20 tracks too. But from all those songs, I only remember. I don't think I can remember more than 5, but or and those 5 I remember is either because they were bangers or they were everywhere on the radio, but the ones I fucked with, there was literally almost like none. Just like two tracks on there that I fucks with personally, or I kept listening to on repeat. But on this project, it's already been like 3 days, and I'm still listening to it. On a side note, I think when Drake is doing these sort of playlists or mixtape, whatever you want to call them, but in my opinion, I still call them albums, which are because you still have to pay for them like you would pay for an album. That's the bottom line for me. So I still call them albums, whatever you want to call it. I think on these side projects, he does better than on his recent albums. Like if you're reading This Is Too Late or this one, I think he takes the freedom to do as he wants. He's like exploring with these new sounds and everything, but on his albums, it's much more like trying to satisfy the audience's expectations and shit, like trying to mimic the sounds that he came up with, trying to do like a throwback for his older listeners or his day ones or whatever. But he doesn't like he doesn't put him like out there as much as I would like him to do, or as much as he does on this side project. But I kind of get it, since he's kind of a bigger artist. It's like pop artists. You don't see them experimenting as much. So I think it's sort of the same thing with him. So he has to basically find what people likes, like the formula for what people likes, and then he has to feed them whatever they like. If they like this trap influence, he's gonna put it in there. The fucking rhythm songs, he's gonna put in there. The Afro beats, he's gonna put him in there, which ended up making views like kind of bland to me. Of course, he's gonna lose depth, and the songs are gonna sound more poppy and everything. But on this side project, I think it's a good thing that he keeps doing them, because for fans who love to see him rap or experiment with new sounds or do features, it's better for us. We get new music, we get to get the songs we like, and I think that's a dope thing. Maybe like rappers like J. Cole or other rappers like Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar hasn't done a mixtape since he blew up. Yeah, like since 2012 with the release of Good Kid, Mad City. I don't think he's done a mixtape. Of course, he released the unmastered something the Green album, which it wasn't an album. It was like throwaway tracks from To Pimp a Butterfly. But it wasn't a mixtape per se or a playlist or whatever. I think like those artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, they should try to do the same thing, since to stay relevant in a game you have like to continually put out music like and stay in people's mouths, people's ears. But like for example, if you look at J. Cole, of course his last project, For Your Eyes Only, it was a good project, but it still didn't hold up to expectations, since it was given so much time. Like it was almost 2 years after the other project, so we kind of expected more. And when we get something that was not as consistent as the last project, we felt let down, and that's why it kept getting like so much bad reviews and people talking bad shit about it, and now because he's not doing mixtapes anymore, he's like an album and then another album after 2 years. It's kind of it kind of fucks shit up since I don't know how to phrase this. Since the only thing we get is the album, so if the album like fails or isn't as entertaining as we want it to be, for one reason or another, we don't get like a second try for him. So that's it. The album is bad. Okay, we're done with it. Nobody's gonna be listening to it. Like if you check For Your Eyes Only, there's a couple good tracks on there, but nothing that will make you go back and listen. Same thing for To Pimp a Butterfly. I still do listen to a couple songs, and sometimes I re-listen to it again, but not because not because I want to be like entertained or anything, because I sort of have this feeling for that album since it came out. Like it was a very important part in my life, like one of the best albums I've ever listened to, so I go back to it. But it's not like it doesn't pull you in, you know what I mean? So if there's no side project and you keep getting these albums that you're gonna only listen to like one time and then never go back, or go back maybe once every 2 years or 3 years or whatever, it's not good for the artist. It's not good business for them. So I think they should keep on doing like side projects for the moment before the albums come out. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. So, did you listen to More Life? And do you think this is better than Views, or do you think Views is better than this? And do you think artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, who apparently have stopped releasing mixtapes, do you think they should go back to it? Do you think it's safe for an artist to just release albums without never pulling out a mixtape or whatever, or playlist, if this is the new thing? Do you think it's safe for them? Do you think it's good for them? Do you think it helps them? Or do you think they should continue doing like in the old ways, when an artist has to put out a mixtape or an EP or whatever before they release an album? I'm gonna leave you to that, to think about it. Type in the comment section and have a nice one.